Environmental conservation efforts in Florida. Coastal preservation. Florida's extensive coastline faces threats from erosion, sea level rise, and storm surges. Conservation efforts focus on preserving coastal habitats, restoring beaches, and implementing shoreline stabilization projects. Protecting natural habitats. Florida is home to diverse ecosystems, including wetlands, forests, and coral reefs. Conservation initiatives aim to protect and restore these natural habitats, such as the Everglades Restoration Project and efforts to preserve critical wildlife habitats. Water management. Florida faces challenges related to water quality and quantity, including pollution, overuse, and the impacts of climate change. Water management strategies focus on improving water conservation, enhancing water quality, and addressing issues like harmful algal blooms. Sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is a significant industry in Florida, but it can have environmental impacts such as pesticide runoff and soil erosion. Sustainable agriculture practices, including organic farming, soil conservation, and water management techniques, help mitigate these impacts. Climate change initiatives in Florida. Mitigation strategies. Florida is vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, including rising temperatures, sea level rise, and extreme weather events. Mitigation efforts focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions through renewable energy initiatives, energy efficiency programs, and transportation improvements. Adaptation planning. Florida's coastal communities are at risk from sea level rise and increased flooding. Adaptation strategies involve incorporating climate resilience into land use planning, infrastructure design, and building codes to minimize vulnerability to climate impacts. Renewable energy. Florida has abundant solar and wind resources that can be harnessed for clean energy production. Renewable energy initiatives, such as solar power incentives, utility-scale solar projects, and offshore wind development, help reduce reliance on fossil fuels and mitigate climate change. Public education and outreach. Public education and outreach efforts raise awareness about climate change impacts and the importance of conservation and sustainability. These initiatives empower communities to take action to reduce their carbon footprint, conserve natural resources, and build resilience to climate impacts. By addressing environmental conservation efforts and climate change initiatives in Florida, policymakers, stakeholders, and communities can work together to protect the state's natural resources, mitigate the impacts of climate change, and build a more sustainable and resilient future for all Floridians.